There is an island in Japan where people seem to have forgotten how to die. On this island, 1 out of every 10 residents lives past the age of 100. They don't use pharmaceuticals, don't follow Western dietary advice, and don't count calories or measure nutritional metrics. Instead, their secret lies in a plant they eat every day, in their soup, in their teapots, and in the dishes their grandmothers taught them to cook before World War II. The Japanese call it Ashitaba, or the leaf of tomorrow. Why do they call it the leaf of tomorrow? Because this plant has a mysterious and unique trait. When it is cut, it doesn't release white sap or clear fluid, but a stream of golden yellow resin, bright like turmeric. A warning yellow, as if our bodies are never meant to forget it. If you cut a leaf at dawn, a new leaf will grow back by the next morning. Ashitaba contains a compound unlike any other on Earth, a compound that instructs cells to clean themselves, removing damaged parts before they turn into cancer, Alzheimer's, or the diseases we mistakenly believe are unavoidable. And yet, you cannot buy this plant fresh in the United States. It is not found in any grocery store. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has never approved any health claims for it, and most Americans have never even heard its name. With a natural treasure of such enormous potential, the question remains, why has a plant this important been hidden from the American public? Welcome to the Veiled Harvest. Let's dig deeper into the truth. To understand why Ashitaba was forgotten, we have to turn back time and uncover its turbulent history, from a remote island of exile to the status of a national strategic asset. The story begins on Hachijo Island, a volcanic island 290 kilometers south of Tokyo. For centuries, this was a place of exile. The Japanese government sent criminals, political dissidents, and troublesome nobles to Hachijo to be forgotten. They were expected to endure and die. But something unexpected happened. The exiles discovered a plant growing wild on the volcanic cliffs. It thrived where nothing else could survive. They ate it because there was nothing else to eat. And then something strange occurred. They stopped getting sick. The exiles of Hachijo lived longer than their contemporaries on the mainland. They outlived their guards and even the emperors who had sentenced them. By the Edo period, Ashitaba was no longer just survival food. It had become a prized medicinal plant. Samurai ate it before battle to increase endurance. Mothers fed it to their children to prevent illness. Farmers chewed the stalks for energy during the harvest season. An 18th-century shogun was so convinced of his power that he ordered Ashitaba to be cultivated on the mainland and strictly restricted its export, so rival clans would not obtain it. This plant became a strategic asset. It was power. Then the Americans arrived. After World War II, the occupying government restructured Japan's food system. Traditional foods were pushed aside to make room for Western agriculture. Within a single generation, Ashitaba retreated back to the islands. The mainland forgot it, but the islands did not. Today, Hachijo and Okinawa, places where the consumption of Ashitaba has been preserved, have the highest per capita centenarian rates in the world. Okinawa alone has 5 times as many people over the age of 100 per capita as the United States. They achieve this not through pharmaceuticals, but by continuing to eat what their ancestors ate. What was once considered vague folk knowledge has now been brought into the light by modern science. The secret lies inside the golden yellow resin of Ashitaba. In 2019, a groundbreaking study from the University of Graz in Austria was published in the prestigious journal Nature Communications, officially decoding this formula for longevity. Scientists isolated a supercompound called DMC. It is a flavonoid so rare that it has not been found in any other food scientists have tested. But what is truly astonishing is what it does. DMC activates autophagy, or self-eating. Simply put, this is the cell's internal cleanup system. It searches for damaged proteins and outdated mitochondria, the roots of cancer and aging, and breaks them down, recycling the resulting energy. Normally, you would have to undergo extremely harsh periods of intermittent fasting to trigger this rejuvenation process. But with Ashitaba, you do not have to starve. Science has confirmed that DMC promotes cellular rejuvenation even while you continue to eat normally. This effect does not stop at theory. When DMC was applied, researchers observed significant lifespan extension in yeast cells, fruit flies, and roundworms. Even more remarkably, this plant also promotes the production of NGF, nerve growth factor. This is considered a key factor in preventing Alzheimer's and maintaining mental sharpness in old age. Beyond longevity, Ashitaba is truly a superfood. It is one of the very few plants in the world that naturally contains vitamin B12, something usually found only in meat and fish, making it an important support for the nervous systems of vegetarians. Additional studies from Japan and South Korea have revealed other remarkable properties. The chalcone compounds in the plant help inhibit tumor growth, regulate post-meal blood sugar levels, and exhibit strong anti-inflammatory effects. With chlorophyll levels far surpassing those of spirulina and antioxidant power rivaling that of blueberries, Ashitaba is not just a green leaf. It is a powerful biological tool for humanity to fight the ravages of time. So why isn't a longevity treasure like Ashitaba on every store shelf in the United States? The answer isn't a dark conspiracy. It's the current economic system, where profit is consistently prioritized over disease prevention. In the U.S., Ashitaba faces barriers that are nearly insurmountable. First, there are novel food regulations. Even though the Japanese have been eating it for 300 years, the FDA still requires its safety to be proven from the beginning. And the cost of getting a new ingredient through the FDA gate is not small: $1 to $5 million for legal procedures and testing. But here is the biggest barrier: you can't patent a plant. Think about that. No pharmaceutical corporation is going to spend millions researching a plant when, immediately afterward, their competitors can sell it freely on the market. Look at the massive economic landscape to see who Ashitaba threatens. First, the pharmaceutical industry, with $480 billion in annual revenue. They sell proprietary drugs like metformin or rapamycin to trigger the very same autophagy mechanism that Ashitaba already activates naturally and for free. Second, the supplement industry, a $50 billion market. They would rather sell you packaged powders with reduced effects than allow you access to fresh leaves with the strongest medicinal properties right in your own backyard. And finally, the processed food industry, worth trillions of dollars. They profit from a diet that contributes to chronic disease, creating a never-ending cycle of customers for the medical treatment industry. You see, Ashitaba isn't simply a business opportunity. It's a direct competitor to drugs that can be monopolized. The harsh truth is this: the plant isn't illegal. It just isn't profitable for the people in power. And in America, sometimes those two things are the same. You don't need permission from the FDA or any pharmaceutical corporation to access this longevity secret. You can absolutely grow and use Ashitaba yourself at home. This isn't just gardening, it's an act of reclaiming health sovereignty. Ashitaba is an extremely resilient plant. It grows best in temperate climates, but even if you live in a cold region, a pot by a window is enough to keep it thriving year-round. Just remember, it prefers shade and needs well-draining soil. Once it takes root, true to the name leaf of tomorrow, the more you harvest, the more vigorously it grows. However, keep in mind that many Ashitaba powders on the market have been stripped of that precious golden resin during industrial drying processes. This is why growing it yourself and using fresh leaves or raw sap is the real key to obtaining the highest concentration of DMC. So, how do you bring this superfood into your daily diet? The Japanese have perfected this art for centuries. Eat it fresh. Start your morning with a smoothie or juice. When juiced fresh, Ashitaba's stalks and leaves retain the full golden sap, which contains the most valuable DMC compound. Its flavor is a unique blend of celery and parsley. Cook it. You can add Ashitaba leaves to miso soup or stews. Gentle heat does not completely destroy the nutrients, and it also helps reduce its signature bitterness. Ashitaba tea. This is the most common method. Dry the leaves and stalks, then steep them into a tea you drink daily. This is a blood-cleansing therapy and the most sustainable way to activate autophagy over time. Ashitaba powder. If you don't have fresh plants, dried powder can be mixed into yogurt or fruit juice or used for baking. The Japanese even use it to add color and flavor to soba noodles or ice cream. However, a quick but vital safety note. Because Ashitaba is rich in vitamin K, anyone on blood-thinning medication should speak with their healthcare provider before adding it to their routine. Every part of the plant, from the leaves and stalks to the roots, contains that precious golden sap. Every meal you grow yourself, every cup of tea you brew yourself, is food that requires no permission and generates no profit for industries that benefit from your illness. The name Leaf of Tomorrow isn't only about the plant's regrowth. It's about your regrowth. The knowledge is now in your hands. Whether you choose to start planting seeds or keep waiting for the system's permission is entirely up to you. Growing Ashitaba isn't just gardening. It's the act of reclaiming your own health sovereignty. Every seed you plant is a declaration of independence, a refusal to enrich industries that profit from our sickness. The name Leaf of Tomorrow isn't only about the plant's rebirth. It's about your rebirth. If you believe health is priceless and this knowledge deserves to spread, act now. Share this video so more people can learn about it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can join us in uncovering forgotten longevity knowledge. Comment tomorrow if you're ready to begin your journey toward health independence today. Grow it yourself, eat it yourself, and take ownership of your own life. Because knowledge only has power when it is shared.